Welcome to Steel Curtain Productions. It is December 23rd, 2023. Please first hit the likes and the subscribes down below in your right hand corner. I'd muchly appreciate it. And as you can see this time around, this is, I believe, episode 20 or 21. And we now have it into a separate channel. As you will notice that the first 19 or 20 videos fell under my hockey channel until we had figured how to decipher and make 3 complete channels. So thank you for bearing with me, but now we completely have our football channel as well. And we have a football channel, hockey channel, as Center Heist is the hockey channel. So if you're interested in that, we appreciate your support as well. We have a gospel channel called The Disciple. Again, you can follow me there as well. Okay, so we're going to review today's game against the Bengals in Week 16. And this was a great week. Unfortunately, would have been great if we would have clued into this, which I called for this in the last video, and made it very clear I did not understand why we didn't do this sooner. Okay, so Week 16, great that we came up with a decisive victory, the Steelers did. They came out pouring it on. I kind of figured they were going to, with the Bengals being, we're beat up a bit too, but the Bengals are beat up a little more than us. And I'm sorry, but reviewing what Trubinsky was doing in Kenny Pickett's place, he wasn't. He was choking, and I'm sorry. You can go back. There's one thing Mason Rudolph. Of course, I've never looked at him as a starter. However, he brings valuable experience for as long as he's been with us. There's a lot of great aspects to his game. Yes, he's no Ben Roethlisberger in Ben's heydays. However, he is a good quarterback, and I believe he has more to offer than Mitch Trubinsky. So, excuse me. So he did. I kind of figured Trubinsky was just excuses and could not get that ball going down the field whatsoever. And I know we got a few prima donna attitudes on this team right now in our receiving core. A couple other spots that we're trying to nip in the butt, but it doesn't help when your quarterback goes there as well. And that's what Mitch had done. So I don't agree with it. I think it just adds. He could be right in some of what he said, but however, I don't think that was the approach to take. I think a good leader has to realize you don't want to create more division. And pointing the fingers, I don't think is always a great thing. However, I do think we do have prima donnas. However, we won this game decisively. We came out firing in full cylinders in this game. It was nice to see, but I would have liked to have seen this 2 weeks ago, which we could have, and we'd be in the playoff picture. We're not going to get in the playoff picture. I can't see it. They say we're still in the hunt. I can't see it. Anywho, it will. The one thing it'll solve is Tomlin having a losing season if things continue to go in the right direction. So Rudolph does a great job today. Really brings the Steelers out of the funk they're in and shows, yes, this team can produce. This team has the capability. With the new, play callers and the talent that is there is enough there to have definitely put some numbers up, which, I could not understand with Trubinsky. Steelers they're no superpower team. We know they're one of the weakest right now, and to me, they're in the rebuild, in the middle of one. I don't think they're at the start of one. I think they're kind of in the middle of one. So, with that being said, this was a good game. I'm just going to give you the quarters, how it worked out. This brought us to 8-7 to tie us with the Bengals for the season record right now. So, it means nothing. We kind of put them in a bad spot with us. So, first quarter, we come out right away, 7-0. Second quarter, we come up with 17 more points. They still didn't score. The third quarter, they finally got on the scoreboard with 11 points. Steelers still got another 7. Mason proving that we can throw 2 touchdowns. And in the fourth quarter, there was only a field goal kicked by Boswell. So 34-11 was the final score. It was wonderful to see what happened here. I mean, you had Pickens running for an 80-yard touchdown in the beginning, 66 yards. Beautiful play. Mason really used George Pickens quite a bit today, and it shows that I've said Pickens. I know there's some attitude there from what I gather. Now I could be wrong, but there seemed to have been reporting on it, and so there might be some prima donna attitude there, but he's far more talented than Dante Johnson. So the ball did need to be going his direction a little more. So that could have been his frustrations, right? So Rudolph connects with Pickens twice for 2 long touchdowns. This is a great, just showing the talent was there. Pittsburgh kept their fading playoff hopes alive in this with a 34. They say it's alive. I don't see it, so don't get your hopes up. I believe we have Seattle next weekend. I just don't. I'm not putting a lot of stock on us. So Rudolph, this is the first time Rudolph played for more than 2 years, making his first start in 2 years. And that's pretty sad in placement of Kenny Pickett and Trubinsky. So he did a great job. Overall, just a really well played game. Shows he still has many skills left in that repertoire, and he utilized it very well. And I knew he would. I called for this. And I said, what? Why the heck aren't the Steelers giving Rudolph a chance? I'm sure. I mean, I know, like I said, no Ben at what time when Ben was there, but he still had some talent there, and to me, it was a question mark. Does he have more poise and better decision making than Trubinsky? And I think he does. He's more used to the AFC battle. So anyway, now we're going to get into the stats. 368 total yards for Cincy, 397 for the Steelers. This was great, almost to 400. Passing yards, of course, they definitely did well in the passing department. The Bengals, 309 to 284. We had a respectable number there. Rushing yards, we took over. They had 59. We had 113. Total plays, 61. They had more plays than us, and 58 for us. Average yards per play. This counts, and this is I haven't seen it this high for the Steelers, so, yet this year. And 6.0 for the Bengals, so they did well, but we got 6.8. That was quite an increase. So there was big improvement there. First down, 17 to 16. They had one more first down. That's not too bad. Third down efficiency. Now here we go again. We talked about this every week. I've talked about this because we were down in this department. Look at the difference. 46 for Cincinnati, 50 for the Steelers. Just with a better play caller back there, like with your quarterback, this is what you can get with a little experience. Why did the coaching staff not clue into this sooner? There's a big question to be laid on the coaching staff's lap. This should have been figured out. You got to know what you got in your system a lot better and utilize it sooner. So this is where I got some problems with our coaching capabilities. Yes, Tomlin's a great coach, but I told you, as far as his keeping a good culture discipline-wise, not letting these guys get away with murder basically in the locker room and keeping people in check. He wants to play Mr. Nice Guy, and I love Tomlin, but good coach. But this has been a problem why we've been free falling. And the next thing again, making the decisions to know what's, you got to make decisions sooner of knowing what the caliber of your staff. And he should have known that Rudolph should have been gone to a lot sooner than this. So that being said, they bounced back anyway. So penalties, 3 for them, 2 for us. And then we got penalty yards. They were affected here big time. Just indiscipline. 20, and we weren't that disciplined ourselves. 15 turnovers. This is huge turnovers. You see this, and 3 turnovers for Cincy, 0 for the Steelers. That shows you that Rudolph handled the ball well, took care of the ball, and didn't make bad reads. He made the right moves. That's good play calling. So this is a good backup for sure. But in the situation we've been in, we should have been to him. We've been in dire straits for a good portion of this season, and we didn't have to be. We could have ran down this channel of getting Mason involved a little more, in my opinion. And I've been hard on Mason Rudolph over the years, but from what I was seeing with Trubinsky, he had way more to offer, and it just showed this should have been done sooner. So tackles. They had 26, we had 39. A big difference there again, right? The defense really stepped up. Sacks, again, here we are. 3-1 for the Steelers. Again, you're getting that defensive line's getting at the quarterback, and that makes a big difference. Sack yards lost. This was huge. And this is our defense getting the job done. 26 compared to 6. So offensively, I'm looking at, we barely lost yardage. This was good management of the ball. Okay, time of possession. Now, we keep seeming, for the most part, to fall behind in there, but at least it was close, closer. But we were a little bit behind. They had 31.49. We had 28 something or other. So, yeah, when you look at this, it's we're gonna go to the scoreboard. Pickens gets a touchdown, 10:45 in the first quarter. Nice 86-yard pass from Mason Rudolph. Boswell hits the field goals. Just exceptional teamwork there. And bear with me, I just lost my page. Internet's been acting up here a little bit. And so here we are back to here. Been kicking me out at times. Okay, so that was good there. Second quarter comes. Calvin Austin, the third, gets a 7-yard run. Boswell, the kick. We're up 14-zip at 14:21. Najee Harris at 7:06, 3-yard run for a touchdown. And Chris Boswell, again, another field goal. Or point, sorry. Extra point. Then he kicks a field goal. A 50-yarder at that as well. Very nice kick. Third quarter, nothing goes on. Nobody gets nothing. Since he finally gets something on the board there to wake up, Tim Higgins is just at 11-11. 80-yard pass from Jake Browning. And Joe Mixon got 2 points from Jake Browning. Then we got George Pickens getting a 66-yard pass from Mason Rudolph at 9:38 in the third quarter. And Boswell gets the extra point. Then the Bengals come out with a 35-yard field goal at, it says 0 minutes there left. Then the fourth quarter comes, and all we get for scoring is Boswell. The damage is done. So at that point, you're at 34-11. That's how the game ends. What can you say? Just a very well played game. This is what we expected to see. A little more pushback from the Steelers. And that Pickett wasn't ready to come back, so you had to have somebody else in there. At behind the wheel. So they did quite well. We snapped a 3-game skid, and then Pickens was exceptional in this. Pickens caught for 4 passes for 195 yards. Rudolph finished 17 of 27 for 290 yards. Steelers put together their best offensive performance in years. Now, doesn't that say something? Now, you can understand a rookie having to go through growing pains, especially when Matt Canada was there. I get it. But things did improve a little bit with the 2 play callers. But he's a rookie. And with all the prima donna hood, it's something there was things going on there. So I don't knock Pickett. He's just young, and I think that this just clearly shows what I've been calling for weeks. Rudolph's got the experience with this team, and he's got a lot more talent than people are giving it. That realizing, and we're sitting there wasting it when we have an opportunity to get out of the funk sooner. And our coaching's got to improve in that area, and that means for Tomlin too. You can be as good a coach as you want. This should have been called a couple weeks back, right? So sorry to say that. So very good job. So we get rid of that, and Pittsburgh raced to 24 points at the halftime to lead and cruise the rest of the way. They were just, it was never in question. And it shouldn't have been in question when you've got Cincy as banged up as they are, right? Pittsburgh's 34 points were its most in a victory since 2020. That's saying something, right? That shows the line has corrected itself, but we got to get the right play calling, and some experience doesn't hurt, right? The performance also likely silenced for the moment critics of Pickens, who has been scrutinized for sometimes lackadaisical play. Steelers coach Mike Tomlin said the 22-year-old Pickens' maturity remains a work of progress, but refused to bench him. Pickens repaid that loyalty by showcasing the game-breaking talent that's only been highlighted sporadically during his first two seasons, mostly because he plays on an offense that was struggling for years to move the ball with regularity. For a few hours on the eve of Christmas Eve, all the negativity surrounding the Steelers during a late swoon that led to the speculation of Tomlin's 17-year run could be coming to a close went away. Scoring points in bunches for the first time in a long time will do that. The path of Pittsburgh to reach the playoff remains complicated, and who knows what will happen at Seattle next week when Pickett could be ready to return with his right ankle surgery. But the Steelers' first sweep the Bengals since this is their first sweep of the Bengals since 2019 made it a little more uh, navigable. Rudolph, buried on the depth chart for the last 2 years, was decisive and dynamic issues that have dogged whomever has happened to be behind center this season. He hit Pickens on the slant, and the receiver displayed the speed and athleticism that made the Steelers go high on him before the 2022 draft. Pickens later added a diving 44-yard sideline grab that set up Boswell for a 50-yard field goal at the halftime gun, and Pittsburgh's highest first half in more than 3 years. This is saying some major things in that statement. This should have been done a long time ago. Tim Hing is finished with 5 receptions, 140 yards, 80-yard touchdown for the Bengals, but Browning's miscues and ill-advised heave into the end zone in the first quarter, which he seemed to be trying to throw the ball away, and it got tipped and ended up in the hands of Steelers safety Eric Rowe, and in the fourth down incompletion in the end zone late in the first half put his team into an early hole. Browning fell to 3-2, a starter in place of franchise Joe Burrow, who's out for the season with the right in anyway. My thing just skipped on me, so that's okay. Anyway, so this just shows you. I mean, the ball was well taken care of. No, not a lot of turnovers. This ball was well managed by our offensive unit, and that's what we've been waiting for. We continue. I don't even know right now if I would risk Pickett, where he's just coming back for surgery. I think I'd just let him heal till next season myself. Maybe unless you fluked into a playoff, maybe then you could look at it. Right now, I'd ride the gravy train right now, and that's Mason Rudolph. You might as well. There's nothing to lose. We're in week 16. There's 2 more weeks left, and if you get fortunate enough to win your games, and you get a little help from a few of the teams you're racing with, maybe, just maybe you slime into a spot, but I don't see it. I just don't think this team is a playoff team. That's just my opinion. But a great job this time around, and good on you. Congrats, Mason. You deserve the break. Should have been done sooner. Once Kenny Pickett went down, it should have been done sooner. And I still think there may have been times that Mason should have been backing up Kenny, like when he would get pulled into the game instead of Trubinsky. I think this gives you a clear message of what the Steelers need to do in the offside. I think it's farewell to Trubinsky. I think it just doesn't match, and they definitely got wide receiver work to do. That's for sure. I think Pickett could be great, and maybe they can reel him back in, just that he's young and they could work that out of him. So that's a possibility. I don't know what the scene is in the dressing room that way. It hasn't sounded great, but that being said, you got to get a number one receiver. That's for sure. In free agency is where I utilize it for the time being, because you got to still work on that line with your first round draft pick. And so it puts us, we'll have a half decent draft. But great job, Steelers. Way to go, defense. TJ Watt and, Highsmith. These guys are playing just so great on the line. They get the job done defensively once again, relying on that good old fashioned defense, which is why I named my channel for the 70s version, the Steel Curtain Productions. That's what this channel is called. Just so you know, thank you to my followers of this channel. And please, if you're a hockey fan, follow me on Center Heist, as where all these videos were done for football. But now we're on solely Steel Curtain channel now that we have managed to figure out to make. So thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Please hit the likes and subscribes, and pass on the word so we can grow a good, healthy family and in good communications here. Let me know your thoughts on the game. I thought this was a great bounce back, but I love my Steelers, but it's like, to me, I feel like week 16, a little too late. That's just my thought. There's too many good teams in the AFC. It's just so strong. So with that being said, thank you for joining us here at the Steel Curtain. I want to thank everybody. Like I said, my supporters. Love you all. Wish you all the best. A very Merry Christmas, and your families too, that you have a joyous time. Enjoy your family time together. It's so important. Uh, I hope you just all have your wishes come true, and you're blessed very dearly. And enjoy the time. It's the remembrance of the Lord's birth. So enjoy the time, and take that family time. We all need to sit down and enjoy those moments. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a short time, and you got to make the best of it, right? So thank you for joining me again. I wish you all the best for the season. I'm not going to say holidays, because it's not happy holidays. It's Merry Christmas. That's what the holiday is. So Merry Christmas. Enjoy your family time together, and we shall catch you in next week when we go up against the Seahawks. I believe that's who we're playing, and we'll review that game. But I wanted to come out. I could have came out somewhere. I'm a little busy, of course, Christmas being here, and creating 3 channels out of 1, turning it into 3 it was a busy week and a lot of appointments. So you all understand that, I'm sure, as well. But thank you for following. We will catch you in the next episode. God bless. Merry Christmas. We will catch you next week.